Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin, wa salatu wa salam. Ala ashrafil mursalin, Sayyidina Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. Amma ba'd. Ya ikwanul akhwat, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for keeping us today. We thank Him for making us witness another edition of the IVC, of the 100 of the IVC. We beseech Allah's blessings on our noble prophet, Prophet Muhammad. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, upon his household, and upon the generality of Muslims, till the day where we shall be meeting with our Lord. Brothers and sisters in Islam, we welcome you to today's edition of the 111th IVC, which is holding virtually today. As you all know, and as it was said yesterday, we will be having our entrepreneurship seminar today, and inshallah, we will be commencing right away. I will not be handling today's program alone. I will be handling today's program with one of our brothers, one of the executive of the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, Lagos Area Unit. Malam Kuye, Abdul Kabir. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh. Just a second, please.
Welcome. We would like to see your face actually, and I think we're going to be having a very full house today. Inshallah, we won't waste much of our time. We'll quickly go through our regular routine, which is for us to go through our memory lane. To handle this for us will be Malam Abdulaziz Ali. Ustaz Abdulaziz Ali, are you ready for us, sir?
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. We have a very short time. Please take it from there, sir.
Can we start
I think we're good, sir. We are good, sir. We are good, sir. We have a very short time.
نعم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولقد كتبنا في الزبور من بعد الذكر أن الأرض يرثها عبادي الصالحون إن في هذا لبلاغا لقوم عابدين وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين قل إنما يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد فهل أنتم مسلمون بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولقد كتبنا في الزبور من بعد الذكر أن الأرض يرثها عبادي الصالحون إن في هذا لبلاغا لقوم عابدين وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين قل إنما يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد فهل أنتم مسلمون نعم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. So now we are going to be entertaining participants who want to recite the Quran. So for any of the participants who want to recite the Quran should please signify so that we can call them one after the other. So let us signify. So I have with me. The first person here is I have Alacrity. I don't know who is Alacrity. Alacrity.
Actually, Ustaz, we already have one for addition. I think she would like to make a try.
Sir?
For addition is ready to make a try.
Okay, Alacrity. Alacrity is the first person. Alacrity. You should please recite.
Are you hearing me? Somebody come.
Why something like that? Like, go ahead.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولقد كتبنا في الزبور من بعد الذكر.
It is not ba'adi, it is ba'di. Ba'di. It's sukun. The ain has sukun. No?
ولبور من بعد الذكر أن الأرض يرثها عبادي الصالحون إن في هذا لبلاغا لقوم عابدين وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين قل إنما يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد فهل أنتم مسلمون.
Barakallahu fi, you really tried. Barakallahu fi. But where the correction I want to make here is إن في هذا لبلاغا لقوم عابدين. لبلاغا لي. So that's how to recite that place. You're not to make any pause there. Just give it 1 second emphasis. لبلاغا لي. So barakallahu fi. Let us have the next person. The next person to recite now is Madina Olufumi. Madina Olufumi. After Madina Olufumi, the next person is Ajenifuja Abdurraqib. Ajenifuja Abdurraqib. Then after that, Mashud Raqiba. So in that order, Madina Olufumi, Ajenifuja Abdurraqib, then Mashud Raqiba. So let's have the 3 people like that. Bismillah. The first person, Madina Olufumi. Please unmute yourself and start. Sister Madina Olufumi, please recite. Or is she not online?
You should unmute yourself, Mr. Medina.
Maybe the next person should recite.
Yeah, I think you should move on to Brother Ajenifuja.
Ajenifuja Abdurraqib.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولقد كتبنا في الزبور من بعد الذكر أن الأرض يرثها عبادي الصالحون إن في هذا لبلاغا لقوم عابدين وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين قل إنما يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد فهل أنتم مسلمون؟
Inshallah, we might
Barakallah,
have
that's a beautiful presentation from Ramadan. Barakallah. So the next person, Nam. The next person to recite now is Mashud Raqiba. Mashud Raqiba.
I think the last person we have here is in room sheet 87. That's the last person we have, and after her, we need to move on and then get started.
Can I start?
Please go ahead.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Can I go on? Can I continue?
Please go
Yes.
ahead.
Please go, continue.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولقد كتبنا في الزبور من بعد الذكر أن الأرض يرثها عبادي الصالحون إن في هذا لبلاغا لقوم عابدين وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين قل إنما يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد فهل أنتم مسلمون؟ شكرا.
Barakallah fi. Keep it love yourself. Barakallah fi. Right. Now, only that you made some mistakes, some tajweed principles you did not observe. But you tried. Barakallah fi. So let's listen to another person.
Ustaz Abdulaziz, I think it's time for us to commence today's program.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Jazakumullah khairan, ya Sheikh.
Naam.
Madam Abu Kabir Kuye, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a pleasure to be here.
Today
and
we
beside you.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
I said it's a pleasure to be here and stay beside you today, virtually, I must say, to host to this session of our 111th Islamic Vacation course, the Real World Order. And it's our day 4, and I'm sure our members are already excited. They are getting set to listen to today's spiritual diet from the stable of MSSNLagos State Area Units. So inshallah, we have 2 very important personalities, very interesting people, very commendable career. They are fathers in the deen, they are fathers in the profession, they are people of good reputation, they are people that we see as mentors because they are worthy of emulation as Muslim professionals, as people who are trying to aspire to be very responsible people and responsible citizens. So inshallah, we should call on others. We are just 118 on the attendance. That's not even up to our average since we started camp. So please let's send reminders. Let's put it on our status that the IVC day 4 session has commenced already, and that we should remind our people to join. Jazakumullah khairan as we do so. Now, Madam Sanusi, FCA. Over to you.
Thank you, my brother. Inshallah, let me prepare the mind of participants today to what we are about to discuss. Again, I remind us that today's topic on entrepreneurship is entrepreneurship a panacea to economic downturn? What are the issues? What are the challenges? What was our thoughts before we came about this particular topic? I remind us that the role of entrepreneurship in socio-economic development of any nation, it has become very essential factor in employment, innovation, and it has enhanced market competition. They are spark that ignites the flames of economic development of any nation. Entrepreneurship is a focal point in the process of economic development. A nation's economic growth depends on the successful domestic entrepreneurship combined with the forces of established corporation. Several socio-economic problems that bedevil the country, such as corruption, terrorism, poor infrastructure, poverty, illiteracy, unemployment, low standard of living, and so on, can be addressed through entrepreneurship development and management. Today's session explores entrepreneurship management as a panacea for social economic development in the Nigerian nation. The statement of problem. Today in Nigeria, you will all agree with me that the state of the economy has been dwindling over a period of time. Now, despite several monetary control measures taken by the Central Bank of Nigeria to redress the economy, entrepreneurship is an important facet of industrial growth and development of a nation that sets its eye on maximizing its performance in every field. The spirit of entrepreneurship brings about enthusiasm, persistence, and the ability to seek entrepreneurial opportunity that leads to success. A nation's ability to generate a steady stream of businesses opportunities can only come about when its people take to entrepreneurial activities. You will all agree with me that entrepreneurship plays a very vital role in economic development through creation of utilities and generation of employment within a short period. May I please give us this facts of data that was conducted in the year 2000. It was noted that out of economically active population of a Nigerian nation of about 70 million, economically active population in Nigeria today is about 70 million. Of these 70 million, only 27% have had the benefit of employment in the organized sector. Of these 70 million, only 32% are either employed or underemployed in the unorganized sector, while the remaining 41% remain unutilized by the entrepreneur. As a result, over 60% of the Nigerian population continues to suffer under the clutches of poverty and hunger as a result of unemployment. My professional colleagues, we will be discussing the role of entrepreneurship in socio-economic development, socio-economic challenges confronting the Nigerian nation, and the solution to socio-economic challenges in Nigeria as a nation. To do justice to this, we have ensured to bring us some of the best hands you can find in Nigeria today to do justice to this particular topic. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce to us ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI, who is the Executive Director of Finance of Pojo Automobile Nigeria. Also, allow me to also introduce to us Engineer ABDULGANY JAWANDO, who is a Senior Partner, Acumen Development Limited, Nigeria. Before we go further again, allow me to also read a brief citation of some of our resource persons. But before we go to the citations, I'd like to ask you, Mr. Akuye, what do you think we'll be expecting to get from our resource persons today?
Yes, thank you, my very good friend, Mr. Ahmed Sanusi Oniyawukon. Yes, like you have mentioned, we are very much expectant, and our audience are very much expectant. Some of the things we want to look at that our facilitators or our guest speakers will take us through today is the qualities of an entrepreneur. What are those relevant qualities that an entrepreneur should exhibit? What are those characteristics that you want to see in an entrepreneur? They also want to take us through, we want to hear from them what's their background as business owners, as investors, what informed their decision to go into entrepreneurship if they are, and then what are those things that put in the zeal into us who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs. How do they want to encourage us to become, to develop interest? Some of us don't really fancy entrepreneurship. We feel that the 9 to 5 thing can, once you get a very good job that can pay you in foreign currency, for example, why do I need to go and start business? What's the need for me? So some of us may need to want to listen to, why should I consider being an entrepreneur? Why should I delve into such a business activity? What are those things? If I don't want to, what are those things I need to do before I even start a business? What are those viable businesses that I can venture into, considering the kind of country that we find ourselves, considering all of those negative things people used to say about our country, Nigeria. There's no light, there's no water, the cost of setting up businesses are high and all of that. But we still have people from outside the country, Chinese people, Indian people, coming to our country to set up businesses, and they are doing so well. How about we who are Nigerians are living here? We are only seeing the downside. We're only seeing the difficulty. We're only seeing what makes it uneasy for us to set up businesses. But these people come from outside the country. They come and establish their businesses here, and then we start crying that these people they are doing capital flight, they're taking money out of our country to their countries. So what are those things? What are those financial independence that we can get through entrepreneurship? What are those? How can we bridge the gap between formal education and entrepreneurship? I know that our schools are tending towards building entrepreneurship into the syllabus. I remember in my final year, our syllabus was slightly updated and entrepreneurship was brought into it. So I understand that schools are trying to see how they can begin to imbibe the spirit of entrepreneurship in students. But I don't think that's enough. And so some of the things we want to listen to from our fathers are some of those things I've just highlighted.
We must commend the organizing committee of this particular IVC, that they have tried as much as possible to do justice to this particular topic of discussion. And inshallah, the modalities of today's discussion will be that our two resource persons will be making their submissions within the next 10-20 minutes, after which we'll be having a panel discussion with the two resource persons. Inshallah, to take the lead will be ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI FCA, the Executive Director of Finance, Ojo Automobile Nigeria Limited. ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
ALHAJI, on mute, sir.
Yeah, I'm unmuted. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I'm very happy to be with you. I'm very happy to be with you.
Alhamdulillah, we are happy to have you, sir.
Thank you very much.
ALHAJI, would like to have a 10-minute presentation on the subject at hand, sir.
Right. So, Alhamdulillah, therefore, I'm going to be very, very, what do I call it? Either be comprehensive or be concise. Going straight to the point, the topic given is entrepreneurship, a panacea to economic downturn. Let us quickly do an analysis of this topic itself. The word entrepreneurship, what does it mean? Why has it become a global topic? Global. Almost every nation, every government, every organization is talking about entrepreneurship. It is because that is the basis of every economy. Entrepreneurship means a system where people decide to go into producing, not just business, but producing goods and services required by the people in that area or in the world generally for humanity. It is the foundation of human existence. No entrepreneurship, there's no life. Because there will be no product, there will be no service, in fact, there will be no construction, no bridges, no roads, no iron roads, no cement, no rice, no anything. So that is the foundation of the existence of every human being. Even in the other days, what we call the Stone Age, people are doing vocations, hard work, buying and selling. trading matter, and all those things like that. To let you know that part of the essential requirement of humanity is entrepreneurship, and that is providing or producing the goods and services that people need, humanity, mankind in general. So it is not just about economic downturn, therefore, entrepreneurship must apply as long as human being continues as Allah to keep human being in perpetual existence. As human being continues to be on this earth, entrepreneurship is irrelevant. However, it becomes a serious matter when countries or a nation like Nigeria, from the perspective of Nigeria, therefore, when a nation is experiencing downturn, that means declines, it means reduction in economic activities, and which will result consequentially into reduced and non-availability of the goods and services required by the people of that nation or that country, which means that jobs are being lost or have been lost. And when you lose jobs, you see that income is also lost. And what will come in will be straight away. Once there's no income, then there's no purchasing power, and therefore there will be poverty. And when you have poverty, you are going to have the kind of hostility you have, social hostility. People will now be fighting themselves for no cause. They don't even know why we are fighting. And it's because it is engendered by poverty. Poverty is engendered by lack of job. Lack of job is engendered by lack of economic activity. So at all points in the history of man, entrepreneurship must always be there. It is only entrepreneurship, therefore, that will give you employment, that we are saying that we have a very high rate of unemployment in this country. The last figure given to us by the NGO, Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, was that overall we have about 45 million Nigerian youths not economically empowered. And empowered means that they do not have a means of livelihood, or where they do not have income that is sufficient to meet their daily basic needs. Underemployment or no employment at all. So that is what we have today. Or when you have employment, the income is not sufficient to meet their needs. So the entrepreneurship and employment, they go together. And you can see from the economic history of Nigeria, when Nigeria was doing national development planning as a framework for national development, one of the key focus areas is industrialization. All the geopolitical regions took industrialization as the basis of development in the north, in the east, and in the west. Companies rose up. A number of manufacturing companies came up. But today, what do we have? Most of those companies are closed down, particularly in our Lagos state. If you look at from Antony to Apapa, most of the country, the textile companies are gone. Michelin is done, Dollar is done. So many companies are gone. The White Glass is gone. The Barrett Factory is done. And these are big enterprises. And another thing I want to point out is that when we talk entrepreneurship, people's mind will go to SME. SME is just a component of what you call entrepreneurship. All those conglomerates, those big companies, they are also part of the concept of entrepreneurship. People, investors, people who have money, come together to collaborate with people who have ideas. So knowledge and skills come with finance. And subject to the size of the finance you have, you can have the size of the company you want. Therefore, my brothers and sisters in Islam, first of all, know for what I said. Primarily, every society must have people who go into business, starting to produce a good, a product, or a service. tailoring, agriculture, mining, computer, IT, educational institutions, construction, cement, so many things you can do. Publication, clothes, weaving, we can count 1,000. So all of us must have it in mind that it is a duty for every citizen of a country to have something to produce or to provide for that society. All of us. But not all of us will be capable of doing it. None of us will have the resources, but we must have it that is essential. That is the foundation of our existence. And those who are going to be owners, those who are going to be managers, and those who are going to be the workers, and those who are going to be the consumers. So you notice that it is a very robust system. Entrepreneurship brings out the best in the society. Those who have money will come, those are the investors. Those who have business idea but they don't have money, they will come and join those who have money. And those who are going to manage the two, manage the business, manage the money to produce the goods and services, those are the managers. And those who are going to support the managers are the workers, who are going to be the field people, the field soldiers, the shopkeepers, the factory men. You need them fundamentally. In fact, the Almighty Allah says so, that we have made some people to be leaders so that they will employ other people to work for them. However, when they work for you, take care of your workers because you actually need them. Number two is that Nigeria today, for us to get out of this economic downturn or doldrum that we have, we must know that entrepreneurship is the solution to our economic problem. And what do I mean by that? Like I said, all the various levels of business enterprise sizes, small scale, we must be there. Those are going to do small businesses. Those are going to be medium class enterprises, and those are going to go into high class enterprises, subject to the funding or the financing or the capital available. But all these three levels, you must be there. The government has a role to play. You normally hear some people say government has no business in business. Government has a lot of business in business. They don't need to be direct investors. They can be indirect investors. Sometimes they can be the only investor, subject to the strategic importance of that of the product or the service they want to produce. And that's why you find that today government is very much interested in electricity. But whoever is in control of electricity in any country is in control of that country. Why private sector people invest, government must have a role to play, even if it's going to be policy formulation. And this issue of distributing money all about is not effective. We cannot see. We should go back to the former system of financing businesses as it was done in the 70s and 80s. If you have a good business idea, go to the bank. Let the central bank, whoever, pass this money to the bank. We should not go to the market and be distributing 10,000, 5,000. This is political. It's not economic. It's purely a political program, not an economic program. What will 15,000, 5,000 do? For selling granules, how much will they sell in a day that to be able to meet the basic needs of that family? How much? Every family today, minimum, for you to be able to take care of the 5 basic needs of food, of clothing, of housing, of education, and of your health. In fact, there is number 6, even of transportation. For you to be able to leave your house and go to your place of business and work, you need money, you need transportation. And today, these are very expensive. So, minimum comfortable life for a family of just only 2 or 3 people, the wife, the husband, and the one child, it can be less than effective 100,000 naira. And what is 100,000 naira? That is less than $500 by Nigerian standard today. It's less than $500. So the government needs to change that system. The policy is good. We are going to finance SME, but not the way they are doing it directly now, taking money to the market and distribute. No, that is political. Let the microfinance banks that are close to the people, let them become a channel to reach the grassroots. But for you to reach the grassroots, you must also have grassroots institution. And that is the role of the microfinance bank, which they have to play. And of course, some people say, oh, they will steal the money. Let them steal the money. All of them will not steal the money. If 20 will steal, you still have 80. Even if we touch, you still have 70. Unlike what you have today, that nothing is happening. Something is only better than nothing. So let's go back to financing the microfinance that are closest to the people. And let the traditional commercial banks too participate. I know that First Bank has set up a department, a whole branch for SME. So all other big banks can become a policy. They will be instructed to also have SME windows or departments or division in their banks, so that they too can reach the people at the grassroots. And before you can be giving money, you have to pass through the business evaluation process too. It's not that we are not just going to dash you the money. We want to see that you know what you want to do. You know how to do it. And people need that product or that service. And that you should be able to engage yourself and engage other people. For every one person you have engaged, you have employed, you have removed not less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 million people from the poverty pyramids. So that is point number 2. I want to repeat again. Point number 1 is that entrepreneurship is very important and essential to our existence as human beings. It is fundamental. Everybody must have something. Even if you are in a paid job, you must have something that you are doing. When you are talking about entrepreneurship, it's not about just buying and selling. I've mentioned it. It includes construction. It includes agriculture. It includes teaching, hospitals, professional services, vocational services, then buying and selling. All of us today, when we talk about entrepreneurship, what people might go to buying and selling. No, it is all economic activity that will generate income and profit for the owner and the workers. And of course, the government will benefit. Tax will come in, some levies will come in, and they are there. And I said that number 2, how do we now ensure that is done? Because without capital, there's no entrepreneur, there's no enterprise. Entrepreneurship will succeed only through what? Through good financing. And you remember Dr. Mohammed of Bangladesh, who started this microfinancing system with just only $1 given to people in Bangladesh. And today we have millions of people, Bangladeshis, that have been taken out of poverty. And the whole world took to that model. And that's how also the evolution of the microfinance system came all over the world. So Nigeria can do that one too. The more the finance, capital must be available to an entrepreneur. And the entrepreneur must also be sure, and we too must be sure, that he has the knowledge, he has the skill of the product or the service that he wants to produce or sell to the people. I think in a nutshell, that's so. My brothers and sisters in MSS, please, while you are in school or out of school, don't look at employment alone. Look at what do I have, what can I do? Look at your environment, look at your area, look at the goods and services people are selling already. Can you join them? Or the one that people need and nobody has started doing it at all. That's what we call creativity and innovation. Look at what people are doing. Do it better. Look at what people need and nobody has done it. Go and provide it. And that's the essence of education. And I will be surprised for any university graduate, no exception, that to come out after 4 years university and say, I don't know what to do. Then something is wrong with that person. Even from your course, there's no degree program that has less than 20 courses. They did not build all those curricula just for nothing. They want you to be able to pick here and there, here and there, here and there. In accountancy, in my own area, you can do bookkeeping, you can do auditing, you can do taxation, you can do IT now, you can do what do you call it, business planning, business advice. So even other accountants, people have not gone into doing executorship and trusteeship management. You can start to do that on somebody. So many things you can, even in account, even in law, even in engineering, even in any course, even in sociology, even in psychology. So there's always something for you to do. For now, let me stop there, and I hope that the message will have been passed. Entrepreneurship is very important to humanity. All of us must be here. Employment is also very important too, but know that you can combine entrepreneurship and employment together. And number three is that we need finance. The government, the central bank can come in to help us, but they must go down to the scratch. I don't support all these top class financing that nobody knows where the money is going. Go down to the micro community level. Use the channel of the microfinance bank, and also ask all other banks to set up microfinance departments for the money to reach the people at the grassroots in the various local governments and the various wards of each local government. Salaam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khairan, sir. We really appreciate the efforts of our father has told us that the importance and the fundamental the existence of having entrepreneurship, or the importance of having entrepreneurship even if you're on a paid job. He has told us that entrepreneurship will only succeed with the support of adequate financing and keeping adequate records. He has told us that there's hardly any field that we may belong to, that we may have studied in school, that entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial business cannot be bought out of it. Either bookkeeping, accounting, either it is law, either it is pharmacy, anything that you may think of. You must have a business that's a business idea that you are nurturing. You must have a business idea that you are commercializing, and you must have something that you do with your hands, or something that you use to turn in ideas into business and into profit, and commercialize those ideas. We all have. He has also told us that looking around us, there are challenges, and for every challenge, you can commercialize those challenges, help people, provide solutions to people's challenges, and you can make your money out of it, irrespective of what you study in school. Inshallah, we'll be taking the next 10 minutes from Engineer ABDULGANY JAWANDO before we will now entertain questions from the audience to two of you, sir. So we'll be giving the mic to Engineer ABDULGANY JAWANDO, who is the senior partner of Acumen Development Limited. He is a graduate of Lagos State University, Department of Chemical and Polymer Engineering in 1999. I don't know if they are still doing that polymer engineering in school today. He also, he noted that graduating from LASU is not enough. He needed to get to the University of First Choice. So he went into UNILAG.
So we are still doing chemical and polymer engineering. Sorry, it still exists.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. Okay, so he had to go to UNILAG, the University of First Choice, to get his master's in chemical engineering in 2005. He has gathered enough experience, and he will tell us something funny about ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI when he gets on board. Now, Engineer JAWANDO, you have the floor, sir.
Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I'm very happy to be here today, and I thank MSSNLagos State Area Unit for giving me the opportunity to be part of this discussion. Before I go into the topic of discussion, I'm also very happy to be on the same panel with ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI, because you mentioned two things in your earlier speech. You said we have two fathers here today. So I'm just a brother, but we have only one father, which is ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI. He's a father to me, and he's a father to every Muslim that found his way to meet him for one thing or the other. Then secondly, you introduced me as an engineer, chemical engineering, Lagos State University. We all know that one of the prerequisites for engineering is the 6 months industrial training. I would probably not have been an engineer without the help and support of ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI. So in 1998, I met him in his office in GlaxoSmithKline, and told him my challenges, and immediately he rose to the occasion, made calls here and there. It was not an era of GSM, so one has to really move around. So eventually he was able to sort it out, and alhamdulillah today, an engineer. So we have only one father in the house, and every other person, including myself, is a brother. So down to the topic of discussion. Personally, after listening to ALHAJI, I would have just said, okay, our father has said it all. Yoruba people will say Aborola so from OLUWAFUYI. So what he has told us in brief is enough for us. So for my own 10 minutes, I will quickly emphasize on some of the things that he has said. And he has defined entrepreneurship for us. I have a definition here, which is the ability and readiness to develop, organize, and run a business enterprise, irrespective of whether it's going to be a small scale, medium scale, or large scale. He has already defined that. But in the process of running a business, there are some uncertainties that come with it. So those uncertainties have to be managed for you to achieve a profit. ALHAJI has also taken us through the situation of Nigerian economy and also the time we had it. He has told us about the Indonesian model and things that other countries have done. But one very important thing for us to note is that right from time immemorial, even when things were good in Nigeria, people have always complained. And the question to you, my brothers and sisters, is if the economic downturn continues, in the early 80s, we talk about the austerity measures. In the mid 80s, we talk about SAP. Later on, we started hearing the word recession and other things like that. In the midst of all this, the country continued to produce millionaires. So what are those people doing differently? And on that, I'm going to look at just two definitions of entrepreneurship so that for each and every one of us that wants to do something, we'll be able to look at some of the requirements of who an entrepreneur is and be able to deduce things that will be useful for us. Sean Peter in 1934 said, entrepreneurs are innovators who use a process of shattering the existing status quo. People are operating a system. You look at the deficiencies in that system and you upgrade it. There has always been tax system in Nigeria or all over the world. Issue of insecurity, safety, negotiating power, and all those things were part of the issues. Somebody came up with Uber. Another person looked at it and said, okay, Uber is looking at in Nigeria at some categories of cars. Can I go a bit lower and accommodate more people? Then we are Taxify in those days. So you look at the existing status quo and you either shatter it or you modify it to bring about a new product or services. Then the second one is what's different between an entrepreneur and somebody that is into charity? The difference is profit. The entrepreneur commercializes his own innovation. And when you talk of innovation, the first thing that comes to mind is the ICT. There are a lot of opportunities there. Then even as little as things that people eat or people do, food processing, there are a lot of opportunities there. Alhamdulillah, I was part of the Z&S screening that was held, one of the panelists. And I saw a lot of innovations from brothers and sisters that they are presenting. Alhamdulillah, I was very happy as a Muslim that Muslims are beginning to wake up. But very quickly, again, let me go to the qualities of entrepreneurs. One of it is robust work ethics. They are not people, they are not really about people if you want to be a successful one. And they are not people that start something and forget it midway. Then the second quality is that they have deep passion for whatever they do. At times you may be tired, at times you may be fatigued, at times you may have some setback. But one of the things that keeps you moving is your deep passion for what you have. I do tell people that when I was going to start my farm in 2015, then I was working with Adax Petroleum as a project engineer. Almost every day I was not even opportunity to take my full leave. But within that period, I made trips up to 44 times out of 52 weeks in a whole year to go to Ibadan to go and see what is happening there, because we're doing the construction and a lot of activities were happening. So 44 out of 52, 3 weeks were used for Hajj, and the other period just to do some few other things. So it is that passion that will keep you moving at that when the going gets tough. Then the other thing is creativity. There was something I learned from one of my mentors, Dr. Jubril. He said something to us that if you don't, where you need to throw your brain, you don't throw your money into it. And that's where creativity comes in. You are creative to identify an opportunity. And also in the implementation of those opportunities, you look at the best doable alternative always, and the most cost efficient and cost effective. So if you're going to, if I can quickly cite an example on this, when we're going to start the first farm, I had that with some of my brothers then. We needed to build, we had a very big budget, but we didn't have the money to construct everything that we needed. So what we did then, I've told a lot of people about this story, was to use our brooding house, our layer house as the brooding house. The difference is the access of air, the amount of air required. So what we just did was to cover the upper part with nylon and seal the air coming in. And alhamdulillah, we're able to start. So creativity, it applies to almost everything you want to do as an entrepreneur. And that's why you will not throw money away. Then another thing is they are motivated self-starters. They don't need people to push them to start. They don't need people to push them to keep going. People that are not motivated self-starters are always very comfortable with 9 to 5 work. Then another quality is that they have easygoing attitude. Easygoing in this case is looking at their ability. When they have setbacks, they are able to quickly come back, re-strategize, and go back into it. They don't bullshit the entire process and throw it away. They look at where they have made a mistake, correct it, and move forward. And the last one among the 6 qualities I'm going to mention here today, this is not all. There are so many other qualities from a lot of scholars. So the 6th one I'm going to mention is that they are eager to learn. They want to learn new ways by which people are doing things. And by virtue of that, they will continue to excel in whatever they are doing. Then what are the things that you need to start a business? A lot of people say money is needed. I agree with you, money is needed, but money is not the first thing. So I'm quickly going to rush us through the stages of business development if we want to start a business. And the very first one of it is called the idea generation stage. This is the stage where you identify the opportunity or the problem in the society which you are going to solve, and is going to make money for you. And also at this stage, you look at different options of solving that problem. At the idea development stage, which is the second stage, you look at the pros and cons of each of the advantages you are going to get, the kind of return you are going to get from each of those opportunities that you have identified, the amount of returns you are going to get. That's at a very broad level. Then you narrow it to about, maybe you have 5 before then, you narrow it to about 2 or 3. Then you go into what we call feasibility. At the feasibility stage, you are going into in-depth of, if you're going to go into production, for example, where am I going to source the raw material? Where am I going to sell? Where should I situate my factory? Should it be closer to the raw material? Should it be closer to the market? What are the issues? What are the risks associated with starting this kind of business? How does government policy affect it? How do I get funding? And all those other things, you look at them at the third stage, the feasibility stage. Then the fourth stage is the implementation stage. That is when you actually get to site. If you need construction, if you need equipment, so that equipment don't arrive before you complete your construction. So you have to plan all those things. Then by the time your business actually kicks off, there is a period called the waiting stage, whereby the business is still having some teething problem. You need to correct it. The first set of money you make should be to improve the business and not to go on vacation. Then by the time you do all this, you now get to the sixth stage, which is the success stage. I think I've spent, have I spent 10 minutes? Mr. Kuye,
Yes,
have I spent
you
up to 10
have.
minutes?
Yes,
Okay. So I'll stop at this point, and if there are any further questions, I'll be able to expatiate further during the question and answer section. Thank you very much.
Exactly, and thank you, Engineer ABDULGANY Adewale Jawando, for that very insightful 10 minutes brief. We appreciate you, and we thank you very much. Mr. Sanusi, do you already have questions from our audience?
I'll go to the questions from the audience. Brother Said Adigun, are you set with the panel questions? Okay, we have still not gotten from.
Sorry,
Mr. Kuye, as of now, there are no questions in the Q&A box, so we might have to go ahead with our own questions.
Okay, I think Mr. Said is ready.
Okay, I've only managed to get a few points. Unfortunately, this brother is very quick. He seems to have touched most of what I intended to ask. But let me go to this question. How do we instill the zeal to do business within our audience, especially the undergraduate or whoever it is? How do we need to key the idea of I need to get employment as soon as I'm graduated or something? So how can we create something so that everybody gets to solve a problem, like you mentioned earlier about how to start the stages of business, the idea and solving a problem? How do we get people to really get that skill in them and begin to crave to be an entrepreneur?
Is that for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me just go ahead. I think ALHAJI have answered this question. And, you know, it was reading some statistics to us about from Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, about the unemployment and the underemployment rate in Nigeria. So I think at the undergraduate level, we need to do a lot of awareness and let our brothers and sisters understand the reality outside. And that reality is that the fact that you get a 2-1 in Nigeria of today, except maybe the country expands so much, does not guarantee that you're going to get a job. So people need to start looking at problems that they want to solve. Organize business clinics for them, organize business clubs for them at the undergraduate level or for the MSS brothers and sisters, so that within these clubs, they talk and discuss about some of these issues and look for alternatives and things that they can do to assist themselves. Some of them is not just business that they will go into. Some of them, through those kind of fora, they will be able to know about some certifications too that you can get and maybe stand on your own or get a better employment. But I think with education and awareness, people will be able to go more into entrepreneurship. And you can also bring examples of people that have, if you look at people that have actually made it more in this country, all over the world, they are not the 9-to-5 people. The 9-to-5 people are only able to sustain themselves. For some of them, they are not so lucky. The moment the paycheck stops, within 3-4 months, they're already having issues. So entrepreneurship is the way to go. Thank you.
Okay, let me add something to that question. Hello?
Okay, sir.
Please go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jawando, thank you very much. It's nice seeing you. I'm hearing from you. after so many years that all of us are doing diaspora. Okay, so practically, I just want to add to what Engineer Dancy has said. Practically, that sensitization campaign program must take place. Sometimes we assume that people know 4 years in the higher institution and you are out for another 4 years looking for job. It's so sometimes it irritates me that assuming that we don't know why we are going to school, but I've concluded that it is true a lot of people don't know why they are going to school. Other than that, when I finish, my uncle will get me a job in Shell, in UAC, in Nestle, in the Federal Ministry of External Affairs, Federal Revenue. That is what is in their heads. But we need to debrief them. We need to reorientate them. And I want to charge the MSS right from, alhamdulillah, we have the structure. I want to charge the MSS right from the national executive to the zonal executive to the branch executive, down like that, at least right from the secondary school. Those are that are in their final year, SS2 or SS3. That campaign must start from that level. And it will not continue, because some people will not have the opportunity to participate or to have MSS as a branch or structure in their school when they are in secondary school. So we'll get level 1. We need to take this campaign to the grassroots. Using the various MSS structures, the national should develop a seminar kind of a thing where this issue of entrepreneurship will be discussed every year, not just once, every year. Because somebody who is in SS1 this year may not have the opportunity to attend that until next year when he go get to SS2, SS3. And somebody who has not entered university, so it has to be a continuous program of enlightenment, of orientating our graduates. That please don't look at employment alone, look at entrepreneurship. So that's what I want to add. They should take it as a project now, right from today. When they go back, have a meeting or have a strategic retreat by the MSN leadership, from national to zonal to the state level and like that. And if Lagos State want to be a pilot state, to do this, let them do it and start from Lagos State and become something that we can now share with other states of the federation. So practically there should be seminar, there should be workshops and conferences, and this should be a regular program at the various higher institutions level and at the secondary school level. It's going to cost money, but don't worry, you bring out the plan. Inshallah, Allah will help us to get it implemented and become effective. So we create awareness through this seminar at the secondary school and higher institution level. I think that's the message I'm passing.
Thank you very much, sir. We would like to appeal to our facilitators to please assist us in summarizing the answers so that we could manage the several questions that have bombarded the platform. ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI, I'd like to ask, you earlier mentioned about having to get credit from financial institutions. Well, one of our participants here would like to ask you, sir, that's how do we manage credit risk for a new or existing business? How do we manage the credit risk?
Well, all over the world, for all and every financial institutions, they know that one of the things that they are going to face as a challenge is credit risk. Credit risk means the possibility of a credit that is given to go bad, that it fails, that the borrower is unable to meet the repayment terms. So this is understood, and that's why before a very good financial institution, before they disburse or approve your proposal for loan, they will have done what we call due diligence. Proper due diligence will have been done. So the first point, and that does not even apply so much to whoever is the borrower. It's more of the lender now. But the borrower should also help the lender by ensuring that, and I think Engineer Legando also mentioned it, when you are doing your entrepreneurship business planning, at that time, at that stage, You identify the likely risk in that your own business. Each business is operating in an industry or in an economic sector. That industry or that sector has peculiar, unique and specific risk factors. E.g., today, those who are in agri, they will tell you that weather is a risk that none of them can predict. It can be good, it can be bad. Weather is a risk. Pests or insects, infection can occur. Flood can occur. Fire can occur. Spoilage by lack of a failure of also storage facility can occur. So in agribusiness, there is a long list of risks. So whoever is now going to borrow or whoever is going to lend, they will identify all these risk factors in each particular business. Even somebody who is going to borrow money for hairdresser, there will be element of risk there. For sake of argument now, somebody got 500,000 naira to buy hairdressing equipment, and there was fire incident, and 1 or 2 or 3 of the machines got burnt. Or even they were thinking that, oh, in that area there's going to be electricity, and there was no electricity for 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, and they are using generator, and therefore the cost of providing service has gone up. Like the person thinking that I will be making 20,000 per month and I will be returning back to the lender 5,000 naira per month, because there was no business or the cost of fuel has taken away all their revenues. There's going to be a failure of the risk failure, and that is the risk there. So every business has risk. It is for the two of them, the two parties, the lender and the borrower, sit down, identify this risk, and see how do we mitigate it. Mitigation through elimination or through reduction or even bearing it. So, and there are so many mitigating strategies for each and every risk. So it is about 1, due diligence has to be done by the two of them. Number 2, they must be open-minded. Don't hide any risk factor that you know as an entrepreneur to your investor or to your lender. And then number 3, do not shy away from agreeing, the two of you, to some mitigating strategies for the risk. Sometimes it can cost you money. E.g., they can say we have to do an insurance. Credit risk is there. There's credit risk, there's product risk, there's liability, so many type of insurance policy. So do not shy away from taking it and say, no, inshallah, Allah will protect us. Inshallah. Even the Prophet also wants us to take caution, to precaution for dangers here and there. So that is my response to that. This management. Thank you very much,
sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Engineer Jawando, sir, there's a question here which is directed to you, sir. You made us understand earlier, sir, that you started your first your business while you were with ADAT Petroleum. The question here is asking, sir, that what is the importance of feasibility study in having to set up a business? What does feasibility study do to you? Is there an advantage it brings which you wouldn't have gotten if you had not had a feasibility study before commencing a business? What is the importance of feasibility study, sir?
Sorry, to also add to that question, someone is also asking, is business plan and financials writing compulsory before commencing a micro business? I believe the question is related, that's why I jumped it together.
Okay, let me start from the second one. Business plan, financial plan, they are important, and let me say to the extent of being compulsory, but depending on the volume of what you are talking about. But one thing I found out is when you think about things and you don't document it, even if it's going to be high-level documentation, that is very important for you to do. That, okay, for this business, I'm planning to go into this and this. This is the concept I want to use. This is how much I've gone to the market. That's your market research, the cost of the raw material. Part of it is how much are you going to be able to sell your product. Having that one either on your laptop or on paper is very important. But when you are talking about the kind of business plan you present to the bank, that one has a structure. So at the early stage, that might not be necessary. But as you go ahead and expand in your business, then that becomes necessary to when you need additional finance. So for documentation, document what you want to do is always very important. So that process will guide you through thinking through what exactly you want to do. So that's my answer to that. Then the first part of the question, feasibility. Well, I think I've also answered it. Feasibility is very important. And let me just give this example. I mentioned I started a business with some brother, which 2008. Incidentally, is a farming business too. About a week to start up. I'm from an industry whereby you can't do anything. We have this gate approval process, whereby at each stage, you go to the top management, that is what you want to do. They review it, give you their feedback. If you need to go and do more work, or they accept it. So the week we're about to start, what we have been told is that we can always sell, the goods is in high demand. We started looking for vet services, where to source for materials. We're in Badagry, and as at that time, we have to be going to Agege for lab services. Probably we should not have situated the farm in Badagry. Then by the time we started production, we ran into another issue. It was in the month of February 2009. We were unable to sell. People were not coming to our farm to pick. So I would go to work and still go to the farm on Saturday to go and market my eggs. So, and those kind of things, if you have done a feasibility study, irrespective of the volume of work you are going to do, as in either the standard required by the bank or something that you want to start up with, maybe something like 10, 15 pages that you want to start up with, thinking through all the processes, how you want to produce and how you want to sell, from the beginning to the how you want to start and how you want to sell. So thinking through that is very important for you to do. I think I've answered the question. Thank you.
Jazakumullah khairan, Engineer Jawando, sir. ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI, sir. Another question is being directed to you here, sir. ALHAJI, being involved in a particular business, and along the line, you discover that there is another business venture that is more profiting than what you are currently doing. You decided to drop the current business to move to the new one. While in the second one, you also saw another business which you had that is also more profitable than the one you are in. You decided to move. The person is asking, how do I curtail this evil of having to jump from one business based on the profitability status of all these businesses?
Okay. Alhamdulillah. First of all, there is no sin, no offense in people seeing new opportunities and then going there to take advantage of the opportunity. But not every opportunity has a medium to long term sustainability. Not all. So what that one means is that even if you, first of all, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Give me time to quickly give you a story. In 1976, when I just left secondary school, we were waiting for our WAEC results. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of us were friends. Myself, Lukman, Kune Sanyolu, Sanyolu, and Abdulhafiz. So we were idle at home. Nowhere to go. We were waiting for our WAEC. We finished the exam around it used to be May, June, WAEC. So July, nowhere to go. Admission was not out. Result was not out. So we decided to go to this same national stadium at Igomu, National Theater at Igomu. If you look at National Theater up to today, that place is surrounded by swamps, real swamps, and full of crabs. So as young boys, we went to National Theater for another thing, and we saw these crabs in the swamp. We saw a small one, and we went after it. By the time we wanted to pick this small one, we raised up our head, and in front of us, we also saw a bigger one. So we left the small crabs, and went for the bigger one. By the time we wanted to pick them, we didn't pick them. We wanted to pick this another bigger one. So we left it, and so this one of us that was pursuing the crabs, that was in front, that is Kule got to a point that it started sinking in the swamp, sinking almost in fact, already almost near to his shoulders and neck. This boy was dying, and we thank Allah today. He just gave us an inspiration. How do we save this boy? So we pull out our shirts, all of us put out our shirts, tie them together, made it a lunch rope, and just quickly throw it to him. So we asked him to wrap it around his body, and we pulled him and pulled him and pulled him out. Otherwise, we would have died. So also, it's a person who is going to every business opportunity that he sees. Not every one, all that glitters is no good. So he has to be careful. The one that he is doing currently, stabilize. Let it go to a level that even if you are not there, it gives going on its own and keep giving you something. Because you may have your own what you call diversification and expansion policy strategy. So if that one has stabilized and you have mastered it, you have understood it very well. Now look at this new opportunity. And every opportunity, please do proper due diligence. Due diligence means that be careful. Look at the pros and cons. Look at the sources of income, the expenses, the policies, the regulatory environment, the market, the competition. So many things are. So you look at them, and then at the end of the day, look at the return and the risk that are associated with this business. If you are convinced that you think that you can go into it and the return is justify the risk, then you can go in. Then don't be somebody who is greedy and who is desperate to just have business. They will all fail and you have nothing. And in Yorùbá wọ́n sọ fún wa wípé ẹ̀rí kìíní kan ó gbé ẹdìyẹ tà ó fowó rawó ẹdìyẹ tó ń yí ẹyin mẹ́wàá fún ó bá lọ rawó tó ń yí méjì àwọn ẹyin méjì ẹ̀ẹ̀kan ló pa. So you can have that kind of situation, or our own experience of the national theater experience. It can happen to a business. You go into a business, but be careful, due diligence, and proper analysis before you go into it. So that's don't leave one for the other until you are sure that this new one will pay you more than the existing one. And don't kill the existing one. Only have multiple streams of income of business, and always try to diversify, not just only one in the same sector but different industry. You can be in manufacturing industry now, and you say you want to manufacture, maybe you are in plastic. Now let me go to something related that's close to plastic making, and you want to go into rubber, you want to go into paint, you want to look. You are still in the same manufacturing industry, but different segment of it. And if anything happens to hay, you will be there to sustain you. So that it is sustainability. And don't let any business also kill you. I have a principle that says that any business that is going to kill you, kill it before it kills you. It's not worth it. Any business to kill you at all. So please be careful. Don't just be jumping from one business to the other. Sustain one before you take the second one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Engineer Jawando, sir. The next question, sir. In order to drive home the question, sir, I would like to make a practical example. Engineer Jawando, sir, the young man on your screen, Madam OLUWAFUYI, has been an accountant of many years, several experience, and is an accountant in service, is an auditor. He also has a passion for buying and selling. Between the knowledge of what he has and the passion of what he believes he can do, which should he prioritize in becoming an entrepreneur? He's a trained auditor and he also loves buying and selling. He has a passion for buying and selling. He has the knowledge of audit service. Which should he prioritize in making his decision, sir?
Well, I think, can you hear me?
We can hear you clearly,
yes,
sir.
you can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Well, depending on what Mr. Kuye wants. Okay, for example, is into audit. is it something he has passion for more than buying and selling? Or can he combine the two together?
Please go ahead,
I think
sir.
ALHAJI is getting down. Okay.
Please go ahead, sir.
So let him look at, he can adopt ALHAJI's approach by looking at the one that gives him the better return, less time, and all those issues. That's if he has to drop one of it, if there is not enough time for one. And also the longevity and durability of that business. If, for example, is into the buying and selling, is looking at maybe something happening in his locality, that maybe they are doing a construction, and by the time they finish the construction, that business will be off. Then he has to go for the more stable one. But generally, in deciding between two businesses, if you can do the two together, do the two. But if you cannot do the two together, you need to assess both businesses, which one lasts longer, which one gives you better return, to be able to decide, and how much time you have for it. How much time you have for it. If the buying and selling, for example, does not really involves his time, then he can get people to be doing that for him. But if he has to drop one, I will advise he goes ahead with something in line with what he's currently doing. You said he's an auditor. As an auditor doing a site also in auditing, it will be pretty easy. So, and as time goes on, he can venture into other things. Or if he's somebody like me that can work for 52 weeks in a year, then he can see if he will do that. But it's all a function of who the person is.
Mr. Kuye.
Thank you, Engineer Jawando. I'll consider your direct advice to me. Okay, someone also said that he's been an 8 to 5 person with about 15 years of experience. He's had his fair share of going into business, but not so successful. How do I muster the drive and motivation to continue in business so that I don't retire broke?
Okay, I think he needs to take the lessons from the ones that has failed and look at where he has failed, discuss with people that are successful in their own business. Maybe something time has not really permitted us to discuss today is the business that I have done that have also failed. So, and I've learned from each of those businesses. So at least if I count, I've done like 3 businesses that has failed. And the total investment only added to my experience for the other business that I'm doing. So doing the business, once it fails, talk to a financial advisor. You can talk to a business advisor. So let them advise you, discuss with them how you operated that business and the failures that you had. So they will be able to guide you better. It may just be an issue of not looking at the risk that you should have mitigated from the beginning of the business, or maybe joining a bandwagon effect. So I was listening to an entrepreneur some time ago and said there are 3 I's in business. There is the innovator, there is the imitator, and there is the idiot. So we now ask, who is the idiot? He said an idiot is the one that goes into a business when that business is already on a decline. He invests heavily into it and loses heavily. And he moves to the next business like that. And he will tell you that entrepreneurship doesn't work for him. Entrepreneurship can work for everybody once we follow the rules of entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Jawando. ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI, sir. Okay. As a principal, sir, how many times do I need to fail in a business before I leave the business, sir? ALHAJI, I don't know if you get the questions.
ALHAJI is on mute. Okay.
Hello, are you hearing me now?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly, sir. We can hear you clearly.
From case studies of successful businesses and failed businesses, it is actually not the number of times you fail. It is for how long you have the capacity to bear the losses. Some companies, within 6 months or 1 year, the whole capital is gone. They went into borrowing. That one also went down the drain. 6 months, 1 year, they closed up immediately. Looking ahead, finding that no, it appears there's no way in this business for us. For so many reasons. It can be what we call the market risk. Market risk includes price war, includes product quality war, includes volume war. That is those are market, and your competition is waiting for you in that area. It's a market war. Let me pick them one by one. You went into a business of drinks, and like it happened to, I will mention one of our products. Happened to a product, a malt, which is dead now. You challenge Martina. That malt drink challenged Martina of Nigerian Breweries. Nigerian Breweries, we all know by all standards, is the biggest beverage company in this country today. And all its segments of risk is a leader there. In their soft drink, in their mild beer, in their real beer, they are leaders there. So this young company, this young entrepreneur went into a malt drink, almost the same quality with their own, in taste, in presentation, if not even better. So Nigerian Breweries felt challenged and use their muscle to muscle them out. They use price, they use marketing, they use so many things. And I can tell you today, that company, that product is out. The same thing almost happened to Biggie. Biggie came with big volume, low price. But because Biggie was strategic, of course, they lost markets in some areas, but they maintained they maintained their core market, which is the low income rural market areas. Today, in some western part of Nigeria, not Lagos. When they came to Lagos, yes, they rain for a few period of time. A lot of people like them, but today it has come down. But in the rural area, in the Ilorin, Ibadan, all those things, they are still leader. And just like Pepsi too. So it depends upon your capacity. If look at what happened to Nissan and Toyota. Nissan was almost dead. Nissan was a leader. That was Dasun brand of those days. Dasun. Before Toyota came, it was Dasun that was reigning, and all this Mazda and all those ones in the auto industry. Nissan strategy was engine durability. Engine durability. When Toyota came with quality, design, and engine reliability, not durability. Let me repeat again. Nissan, up to today, their strategy is engine durability. Their engine can last as long as you want the vehicle. It will just keep going. Toyota will not keep going, but it go for a long time. But it is of the design of their vehicle is very attractive. The availability, whenever you want to use it during the service year, lifetime, it will always respond to you. But it does not last longer than Nissan. And as a result of that, Nissan lost significantly the market, almost dead. And that's why because people did not like them again, they changed their name from Dasun to Nissan. Nissan is the name of the company, not the product. Dasun was the name of the product that time. But today, they are behind Toyota. But if not because of their resilience and because they have been there, that company will have died. Like many companies have died. Lada in Nigeria automobile has died. So it is a question of capacity. You know that you cannot sustain the loss. Like I mentioned earlier, don't let any business kill you. Kill the business. If you cannot sustain the loss, your capital is gone, the money you borrowed are gone. Please just leave it. Even if it's going to be 3 months, 1 year. So it's not about how many times, It's about capacity to bear the losses. And looking ahead, that it appears that, look, this is like a basket. It will just be taking away our money. Please close it down. Close it down immediately. Let me give you another instance. When I was in USC, GBO MDS division as the commercial director. So that means the commercial director as the chief buyer. I determine, I approve what anybody will buy in that company. And we were major off-taker for many of the manufacturing companies, including Nestle, Cadbury, all of them were major off-takers because we had the financial muscle, the money was there. We were one of the biggest conglomerates. But by mid 80s, up to 93, 94, 95, the whole system changed. When the central bank, the federal government liberalized banking, so many banks came up, 150 banks, from just ordinary 5, 10, or 20. First Bank, Union Bank, ABDULGANY, those are the banks those days. But when they liberalized the banking license, over 150 banks came up. What did that one do to me? It means that ordinary people can now go to Zenith Bank, to Citizen Bank, all those banks, to credit like what is Lionel Bank, to borrow money which they did not have before. So they are not able to go to Nestle, to go to Cadbury, to go to Nigerian Breweries, to buy whatever. Anybody, they can go to this company, to go to Michelin, Dunlop. They can buy what you are buying. Formerly, we had the capital, we are buying and selling to these retailers. The retailer became distributors. While I was buying on credit, they were buying in cash. So those companies now stopped selling to us. And we started making low turnover. Turnover was declining. Our expenses are fixed and losses came. To the point that the company USC can no longer bear those losses. They closed the company down. In fact, in less than 3, 4, 5 years, they closed them down. Companies that have been existing for more than 30, 40, 50 years. Even before I was born, GBO has been existing. They closed it down in less than 2, 3 years because they can no longer contain the losses. They don't have the capacity to contain those losses because it is like the group result was being impaired, undermined by the losses from one division. I used to call it plus 10 minus 7. It's better for you to drop those one giving you 7 and then retain your 10. Salaam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Jazakumullah khairan. Engineer Jawando, sir.
Yes, sir.
We, alhamdulillah, in MSS, one of the things Allah has blessed us with is that we have teachers that have granted us wealth in Islamic knowledge. But Engineer Jawando, with the level of knowledge that Allah has guided us with, what should be our mindset as an upright entrepreneur, as an ethical entrepreneur? What is the mindset of an entrepreneur who also considers that there is ethics as one of the priorities of whatever it is he will be venturing in? What should be the mindset?
Okay. Well, I would say the mindset is to serve Allah and bring in 2 verses from the Holy Quran. First of all, the issue of business or buying and selling. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said he actually purchased the soul of man and his wealth to give him paradise. So an entrepreneur is going in there for the reward. And in the process of getting that reward, he needs to ensure that the basic ethics of Islam are well adhered to. He's not going there to cheat his customers. He's not going there to exploit his workers. He's not going there to collect a loan or investment from people and use it for holiday or vacation. I'm possibly thinking of declaring bankruptcy and for AMCOM to come in and bail him out. So whatever he says, his word is a bond. So whatever he promises people, investments, or investors, he worked assiduously to ensure those things happen. And I think earlier we also mentioned about the issues of bank. I've had the opportunity to discuss with some of the Islamic bank practitioners. And one of the issues that they're also having is the general issue with Nigeria. So we as Muslims, we need to make that difference. Let people see, let's acquire the business skills. and the trustworthiness, the truthfulness that we've always had. Let's combine these two, and inshallah, we are going to excel in the world of business.
Jazakumullah khairan. ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI, sir, Engineer Jawando, we started this lecture sometimes around 4:55. Immediately we started, one of the things we used to advise our members is that when lecture starts like this, you take your biro and your paper and you jot. At this point in time, sir, we would like to confirm who have jotted well, who have listened to you well. We'll be having our Kahoot quiz question based on what you have discussed with us today. Brother Kamaldeen Abiono, can we have the Kahoot session now?
Just give me a minute, please. A minute, please.
Okay, sir. We'll be waiting for that. Ma'am Kuye. So, brothers and sisters in Islam, attendees, we will be having our Kahoot question shortly. Please be reminded that we'll be rewarding the first 5 with bumper data for those who are able to answer the questions correctly in one, and for those who are also fast in answering those questions. Also, do not forget that the questions that will be asked will be based on what our 2 resource persons have discussed with us today. Who knows, at the end of the day, ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI and Engineer Jawando might also decide to reward the winner of today with various prizes, which could also be cash, who knows. And then also do not forget that there are other events that will be held this evening. What we have all been looking forward to, the area council and the institution competition towards donations to the HCDC, that will also be holding tonight. We'll be giving you further details after today's session. Inshallah, as I earlier said, we'll be having the Kahoot session, and the questions will be based on what ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI and Engineer Jawando has delivered this evening. So you definitely cannot afford to miss this. Please get your devices ready and be ready to answer the questions. For our previous winners of Kahoot sessions and other quiz that have been put on this platform, if you haven't gotten your data, please you can immediately reach us so that we could quickly work on that if there are any issues or oversight from our own end. Also, I also remind us that the activities of the IVC continues tomorrow and also continue and will be ending on Sunday. Also on Sunday afternoon, we'll be having our Arabic day, and it's a day you really do not want to miss. Madam Abiono, are we set for the quiz question? So I'm handing over the mic to you at this point. Thank you.
Now, I welcome you all to this segment of today's lecture. And I want to believe everyone here knows how to participate in the section. So to remind us again, you log on to www.kahoot.it as shown on my screen. So for the game pin, we have 815-3749. And you'll be asked of your nickname. So for the nickname, you put your phone number. So I think we can see up to 10 players now. So let me come again, log into www.kahoot.it, and the game pin is 815-3749. And likewise, you'll be asked of your nickname. For the nickname, you put your phone number. So that's unique enough. For those that have not participated before, I will be sharing my screen, so definitely that you can see. You see the questions there. Then from your device, you plug in your answer, the correct color or the color that corresponds to the correct answer will be picked from your side. So, okay. It seems we don't have much. Okay, yeah, alhamdulillah, we have up to 40 now. Okay. Yes, alhamdulillah. Yeah. I think we are getting. Okay. Let's see if we can get up to 60 before we start. IB Tech. Don't forget, I said your nickname is your phone number. Your nickname is your phone number. So for those that are having their name there, please try to change it. Your nickname is your phone number. Okay. So let's see. We have 55 now. We have 55. Let's go on to start. First question. Yeah, the question says, it's a true or false question. Whoever that is gainfully employed is not expected to be an entrepreneurship or to be an entrepreneur. Sorry. Or to be into entrepreneurship. Yeah, it's correct. So, true or false? Okay, we have great. We have 40 people getting that. So let's see the leaderboard. Wow. Somebody had 1,000 points. That's good. All right. Second question. Entrepreneurs are innovators, aspirators, argumentators, perspirators. Okay, 45 people got that right, but it depends on the time you have used. Okay, let's see the leaderboard. Wow. Okay, let's move on. Number 3, to bring about progress, an entrepreneur does dash. Define the status quo, shatters and modify the status quo, looks at the status quo, follows the status quo. Wow. Wow. Just 20 people got that correct, but it also depends on the time. Okay. Wow. We are getting new winners or new leaders. All right, let's move on. Fourth question. Which of these does not make a successful entrepreneur? Okay. Wow. The next question. According to the second lecturer, how many stages do you go through to start a successful business? 2, 4, 6, 7. Wow. Just few people got that. Okay. Okay. Question 6. Arrange the following stages of starting a successful business. So you arrange that. You arrange. So just try to see how you can move 1 or 2. So you move those things to arrange them in the correct order from the left to the right. Because you have more time for that. So just arrange. Yes, we have 25 answers, 26 answers. Just arrange. Wow. Okay, so this is the correct. All right. Okay. So this is what we have. Entrepreneurs, the ability to develop skills to run a business, bring a business, sustain a family wealthy.
Madam Abiono, we really cannot hear you anymore. I don't know if anything is wrong with your network or something. Takuya, can you still hear me?
I think it's disconnected because I could not even play the game also. I'm guessing I might have to share the screen from my own end.
Might need to buy him a glue line then.
Wow, sorry about.
I think it's still having network ish. Okay.
I'm sorry about that. Hello.
Please go ahead.
Hello?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
I can hear you.
Where? Let's. So what's the difference between an entrepreneurship and a charity organization? Okay. So I think this will be the end of the game. So we have that as the third position, and so inshallah, for participation. We shall get back to the winners, usually the first five.
Mr. Puye, but you need to appreciate our resource persons.
So we want to say big Jazakumullah khairan to our fathers, ALHAJI OLUWAFUYI and Engineer ABDULGANY and JAWANDO, for taking time out of their very busy schedule. You will notice that both of them were, for the most part, in their vehicles. They've taken time out to be with us because they know that the youth, the students, are the future of the Ummah, and they want the best for each and every one of us. So we hope that we pray that Allah will continue to guide and guard you, sirs, be with you and your entire family. Pray to Allah to make you enjoy the fruits of your efforts and make you happy that you have been able to, leave behind very enterprising Muslim youths that will keep on flying the flag of Islam. Like you all know, the Prophet was a businessman. A number of the Sahabas were businessmen. Islam encourages us to also be business people. We pray to Allah to continue to be with you and all that's yours. Pray to Allah to continue to bless you, increase your blessings in manifold, be with you and your family, and also bless each and every one of us who are listening attentively and have gained one or two things from here. We hope and pray that as we continue to call on you, as MSS, we continue to answer us and find time for us, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Please let's recite Surah to the Kawthar for our fathers. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna a'tainaka al-Kawthar. Fasalli li rabbika wanhar inna shani'aka huwal abtar. Ameen.
Yeah, inshallah, at this time, we would like to call in the Honorable Amir of the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, Lagos State Area Unit, to please deliver his message on behalf of the unit Amir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wahda wa salatu wa salamu ala man la nabiyya ba'da. We give thanks to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for granting us this wonderful opportunity once again to have another wonderful session. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to bless us all. I want to particularly appreciate our fathers in person of our mentor, our leader, ALHAJI Juma Ali OLUWAFUYI. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to bless him. Adam Allahu hayatahu. Likewise, our esteemed Alhaj and engineer ABDULGANY JAWANDO. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to bless you and elevate you. My message for us this evening is going to be quite brief. We all understand what we refer to as the Human Capital Development Center. It is our, as the name implies, the Human Capital Development Center under the auspices of the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, Lagos State Area Unit. So, as we know, it's been 3 years now since we last had our physical camp, and it means our Human Capital Development Center is currently lying fallow. So definitely, we are praying, bi'idhnillah, and looking forward to next year. We pray to Allah that there won't be any instances of or cases of coronavirus or any other pandemic as the case is. Bi'idhnillah, next year we'll be moving back to our Human Capital Development Center. However, I'm sure we are all aware, we can vividly recall the state in which we left the Human Capital Development Center. It is a state of where we need to put our hands and heads and all resources and pull all resources that we have together in order to make it befitting. We do not want to go back there and continue sleeping on the bare floor. We do not want to go back there and continue to roam within the dust. We do not want to go back there and continue to have cases of bushes surrounding us from everywhere. So this is why, as we do every year, we are calling on all our brothers and sisters, and as well as our mentors who have come to deliver strong messages to us today, to join us by 8:30 today, inshallah. 8:30 tonight, we will be flagging off the fundraising for our Human Capital Development Center. I'm sure we can vividly recall that it was a huge success last time, as we were able to raise considerable amounts of money, which has been put into proper use. And bi'idhnillah, we are also making a commitment and promising that the funds that will be raised this time around as well will be maximally utilized, bi'idhnillah. So this is why, once again, I'm reminding us and calling on all our brothers and sisters, particularly the stakeholders, the Umara, and all other stakeholders across our area council, central branches, and all other hierarchy of MSS, as the case may be, higher institution, down to the secondary schools. Let's call on our people. Let's come all out and come for the fundraising starting tonight, 8:30 p.m. inshallah. The link to the program, as well as other details needed, will be shared in earnest immediately we conclude this particular program. So don't forget, fundraising starts tonight by 8:30. And we should have it at the back of our minds. It is the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا تُقَدِّمُوا لِأَنفُسِكُم مِّنْ خَيْرٍ تَجِدُوهُ عِندَ اللَّهِ. Whatever is put forward in terms of witness will surely be seen in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is another great opportunity for us to add to our scales of good deeds. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to replenish all that we have been spending and all that we are going to spend in manifold. Lastly, let's not forget that our program continues tomorrow, and we want every one of us to come on out. We'll be having 2 sessions tomorrow as well as Sunday, being public holidays. And
Yeah, being weekends, never means. So inshallah tomorrow, we will be having 2 sessions, one in the morning by 10 a.m. That will be
in our programs. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik nashhadu an.
This is just me. Your name Lam's network is hanging.
I
Okay,
think
so
it's,
hello.
I think it's from his own end.
Okay. I just want to be sure that it's not just from my hand. So, like I was saying, inshallah, tomorrow we'll be having 2 sessions. One in the morning by 10 a.m. We'll be having couples hangouts, intentional parenting. We've got 3 wonderful families who will be, sitting on the panel session and taking us through the couples hangout. Please, it's a couples hangout, and I'm sure we all understand what couples mean. So, inshallah, that will happen by 10 a.m. And then in the evening by 4:30 p.m., we'll be having the Sisters' Day, a day with Sabiya. And we have 2 wonderful speakers as well. In the morning session, we have the families of Professor Abdul Hakim Yusuf. He is a professor of law at the University of Ulster in the United Kingdom. And we'll also be having the families of Dr. Sulaiman Ogunmuyiwa, who is a senior counselor with MSc High. And also be having the family of Ustaz Ismail Busewi, far away from Guinea, Papa. You'll be joining us tomorrow, inshallah, by 10 a.m. for the couples hangout, and the theme of discussion tomorrow is intentional parenting. So please ensure that you join that session. In the evening as well, we'll be having a Sisters' Day, a day with Sabiya, and you have 2 wonderful speakers as well, Ajia Samiat Omotunde Bada. She is a member of the Institute of Public Administrators in Nigeria. And then we also have Ajia Safiya Abdul Razak. She's a journalist and the CEO of Between the Pages. So please ensure that you do not miss tomorrow's session. You all have the links on all of the schedule is on the website, events.mssnlagos.net, and it's also on the links of all on the email address of all those who registered on day 1. They have sent out all of the schedules to you. So join us tomorrow, inshallah. But before then, do not forget that we have the fundraising session happening this night rather, as the fundraising for HCDC, Human Capital Development Center, Nofuruja Ekpe. We have to continue to build that place. It's our site, it's our building. We need to continue to work on it. The intention is to complete the mosque before this time around the next fundraising we want to commence this evening, inshallah. So please, let's call on our brothers, our sisters, our mentors, our fathers, our aunts, our donors, all of them, call them out to come and join in this beautiful activity, this highly rewarding activity, this Qurdan Asan, this reward that none other can reward other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And yourself too, however small you may think you have, little drops of water, they say, forms the mighty ocean. So please do well to join us by 8:30 today when we take the flag for another round of donation for the Human Capital Development Center. We've been ending today, this period, we'll be taking a break for Maghrib and Isha, and you also want to have your dinner before Isha, if you have not already taken it. So inshallah, we'll be seeing us by 8:30 today, inshallah. And we'll be doing this every single day up until the end of camp on the 2nd of January, 2022, inshallah. Malam Sanusi, FCA.
My brother. So inshallah, we will be adjourning for Salah. So that's what Maghrib and Salah will be short, and we will be converging by 8:30. May I please remind us that tomorrow's couple seminar will be commencing by 9 a.m. The regular program for the morning session has usually been 10, but for tomorrow's program, it will be commencing by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we look forward to having our couples there. Let's together hear from experienced couples on how to have a fantastic family. Mr. Akuye Taiwo, it's been nice having to do this together with you. And I think I have, today has been very fruitful. Today has been very, very fruitful. May Allah continue to be with our facilitators, and we look forward to again seeing you in the evening. If you care to listen, Mr. Akuye, I must also tell you that last year, it was between Ikeja and I think your boy Paja. But again, I also like to tell you that because the Ikotu is also ready and ready to take his rightful position. Our default position has always been number 1, and we look forward to uploading that later tonight. I don't know what really has an offer.
I was going to say that, in Surulere, we have patience, and at the end of the day, patience is virtue. And there's nothing that Islam preaches other than being a virtuous person. So just, cross your fingers and sit back and relax. You will be, I don't want to say you'll be shocked because I don't want my brother to be shocked. I love you, Lillah. So inshallah, just get prepared and we'll show you what you are made of in Surulere, inshallah. And Surulere people will not say.
Yeah, inshallah, we will be putting today's session we hold, and they're hoping to get back by 8:30, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward each and every one of you who has joined us today, and may Allah continue to be our guide. For those who have won the Kahoot quiz today, please expect your data anytime soon. And we hope to see more of you coming into the sessions and then winning more of our beautiful prizes as time goes on. Jazakumullahu khairan to everybody. Please, for us to put this today's session to a hold, let us together recite Surah Al-Asr, and then we'll meet again by 8:30 this evening. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal 'asr innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilus solihat wa tawassaw bil haqqi wa tawassaw bis sabr. Subhanaka wa bihamdik wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.